Honorable Prime Minister, Madam Moderator, Ms. Jacqueline Bryan. A pleasant good evening to the viewing and listening audience. Mr. Prime Minister, I'm truly grateful for the invitation once again to participate in this forum at this time as we approach the end of financial year 2021 and the beginning of another financial year 2022. This forum therefore provides an opportunity for the citizens and residents of our beloved St. Kitts and Nevis to participate fully in the budget process. Indeed, during this period of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, there have been heightened uncertainty and levels of anxiety among many individuals. In response, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis have initiated not one, but two multi-million-dollar stimulus programs to cushion the impact of the pandemic on the population, especially the most vulnerable. And in each of those programs, the Accountant General's Department played an active role in ensuring the delivery of the support to the most vulnerable of our population. In my humble opinion, investing to protect our people was the right choice, but it has come at a price, a substantial price. Indeed, keeping our people safe and well as we manage a pandemic that continues to rage around the world and the rebuilding of our economy after the massive global shock must become our primary focus and concern. The theme chosen for the recently passed 2022 budget, investing in our people, putting St. Kitts and Nevis back on track, is most fitting and appropriate at this time in our evolution as a nation. Hence, the passage of the Appropriations 2022 Act 2021 last evening, led by the Honorable Prime Minister and Minister of Finance as the move of the bill, was a critical part of the budget process, where the government was able to fulfill the legislative requirement for the budget by seeking and obtaining the authority from the National Assembly for the incurring of expenditure and the spending of monies and the collection of revenues, taxes, fees, and levies. The national budget is therefore the central policy document of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, outlining how it will prioritize and achieve its objectives. As the government's blueprint, the 2022 budget aims to turn plans and aspirations into reality. But more than this, the 2022 budget is a contract between the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis and the state, outlining how the resources will be raised and be allocated for the delivery of public services. The 2022 budget is therefore a critical planning tool for St. Kitts and Nevis, for getting St. Kitts and Nevis, our beloved country, back on track. It represents not only the plan for the Federation's recovery, but also the government's plan for the future of St. Kitts and Nevis. Prime Minister, I'm pleased to report and follow on your lead that the 2022 budget has provided for the phased implementation of the recommendations of the STEP Regularization and Pension Reform Committee, a committee which I was privileged to lead. This committee comprised some of our best and brightest technical persons and senior public servants, including our Chief Personnel Officer, Ms. Sheridan Warner, our Director of Audit, Mrs. Carla Pike, Mr. Andrew Skerrick, Permanent Secretary, Mr. Ron Collins, Permanent Secretary, Ms. Sharon Ratton served on the committee previously and was replaced by the Labour Commissioner, Ms. Shernell James. Mrs. Sharma Mack was the legal advisor to that committee, and Mrs. Versely Francis, the Director of Fiscal Affairs, also served on the committee with the support also of Mr. Emil Green from the STEP Secretariat. Mr. Prime Minister, I take time to identify these persons for their contribution. And the committee was supported by the team from the Treasury Department, led by Mrs. Melissa Phillip, our former Deputy Accountant General, Mrs. Jarissa Hodge, Assistant Accountant General, Mr. Roger Gums, the late Roger Gums, Miss Tamika Marson, and we were supported by the Deputy Chief Personnel Officer, Miss Coretta Harris, Miss Agatha Keynes, and Miss Marjorie Jordan from the STEP Secretariat. I feel persons must be recognized for their contribution, and these persons would have contributed. And as a result of their efforts, the STEP workers on a phase basis will be regularized in the new year. The budget also provides substantial resources for the implementation of a comprehensive public sector investment program, which is geared towards stimulating the economy and promoting economic growth through a number of capital projects totaling well over $180 million. The Accountant General Department, Ministry of Finance, continue to provide active support in the delivery and execution of its statutory responsibilities as outlined in the Finance Administration Act in order to strengthen and promote transparency and accountability in public financial management. I must publicly express thanks to the entire staff of the Accountant General's Department for their continued commitment and dedication to the delivery of quality public service to all of our stakeholders, including the citizens and residents of our beloved country. In my over 14 years as the Accountant General, they have performed above and beyond my own expectation. And this was proven just recently, as the Prime Minister have indicated, having received notice for the payment of a double salary. The staff of the Treasury was able to deliver. And today, just a matter of a few days after the announcement, well over 11,000 persons employed by the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, the Nevis Island Administration, and the STEP program would have received their extra payment. Mr. Prime Minister, I thank you for this opportunity and avail myself to answer any questions that may be asked.
Thank you so much,